Hey lovely, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Jo and I'm so glad you are here today, and I'm going to chat about the lovely term people pleaser because I have resonated with the term people pleaser for so long. And while there are so many amazing aspects and qualities of being a people pleaser, what I didn't understand until probably about 2, maybe 3 years ago was how much energy being a people pleaser was absolutely sucking me dry. And I'm going to go into that a bit more in this video. So relax, sit back, grab a cuppa, and let's chat all things people pleasing. So where did it all begin? Where does this people pleasing begin? Well, you have to go right back to the start of your life when you were a little girl or a little boy, and our brains are like sponges at that time. This is during the ages of 0 to 7, about 7 years old, and our brains are absorbing everything that we are witnessing, noticing in the world around us, taking in, because we are using that to anchor in our thoughts, beliefs, and our programs and patterns that we will carry out. We also notice what our caregivers are wanting to receive from us, so we act accordingly. So you may have been, as a young child, rewarded for good behavior, and you may have been told if you were naughty to stop the crying, stop being so silly, stop acting like that. As children, we would respond to those commands and act accordingly. And that would mean, for some of us, we would tend to seek out being the good girl, and because that was when we got attention from our caregivers. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this. This is how society has embedded in us that this is the right way to behave, and our caregivers were doing absolutely the very best they could with the tools that they had. However, how this is playing out in our lives right now is we are still acting out these behaviors, but we are adults. So let's take a little look at how these behaviors are playing out. And that could mean when you have an invitation to, say, go to a wine party and you think, oh my gosh, I don't want to go, but you feel obliged to go because, Jana is going or Susan is going. And it also holds a big part of, the fear of missing out scenario too. I know that was a big part of my beliefs around being a people pleaser, was that I didn't actually want to miss out on anything either. And that's okay. However, some of the parties that I chose to go to, or some of the gatherings I chose to go to, I really didn't want to be there. However, because I was, wanted to be seen as being helpful to people, being loyal, then I would show up. But ultimately, by showing up, it actually zapped my energy. So how does this play out in our lives? So most of us see the people pleaser aspect playing out in our social engagements. So I'll use the example of going to a wine party. You might not want to go to a wine party or a Tupperware party, any sort of party or social gathering, work gathering. And most of us tend to put in boundaries, and because we think that is the answer. So we'll put in a boundary by saying, oh, sorry, Janet, I can't come to your wine party we've got other things on or whatever. And then we'll have like a little bit of an internal celebration with like, yay, go me, I said no, woohoo. And yes, great, you've said no. However, let's take it to the next step, which is the next stage, which is like a little bit deeper, because you've said no on the surface. So our external validation has been created. We can validate ourselves for saying no. Woo, go me. However, when we check in on our unconscious beliefs, codings, programs, and patterns, they are having a panic attack because you're not in coherence with what is going on internally. So there is a mismatch. So externally, you've been able to say, yay, I'm not going. But your internal dialogue, although you might not be aware of this, is still having a panic attack. And it kind of shows itself like a duck swimming on a pond. You might feel like, oh, I'm great. I said no, whoa, go me. And that is a big step to take. However, what is also happening is those little duck legs are paddling like crazy underwater. And that is where the energy is sucking you dry. So for a while, you may be able to get along with the external results of saying, oh no, I don't want to go to your party. You check that party, tick that gathering, not going. And be great at thinking, right, well, I'm rocking with these boundaries, go me. And that's great. But ultimately, it's our unconscious behaviors and patterns and coding that are running 95% of the show. So 5% of our brain is only our conscious behavior. So the deeper work needs to go on in your internal world so that when you come to say, oh, I'm sorry, Janet, I can't make your wine party, you can say that with conviction in your external world, but also have that inner peace, calm, and clarity to know that, yeah, I'm good with that. I'm okay. Because I trust myself and I can back myself. And it's having that inner certainty, which will then transform that energy into, instead of fraught energy, it transforms into just inner peace, calm, and clarity for you. So it is a little bit of a catch-22 situation because I've been in this, I've been in these shoes before where I've thought, yay, my boundaries are rocking, go me, I'm awesome, great. But energetically, energy-wise, I was still feeling really, really energetically, I was still feeling really drained. So the lesson in today's little tea chat, I guess, is to be aware. Be aware that once you put that external boundary in place, just check in with what is going on in your unconscious beliefs. So what do you really believe? What are your unconscious patterns? And what are you feeling? Are you feeling calm? Or are you feeling like there's still a bit of resistance there? And that's okay. Just check in and notice how you are feeling, because that is the start of the path that you want to take. You want to move the people pleaser who is driving the bus, because you still want her to drive some of the bus because she's got great qualities. So having that people pleaser sat next to you on the bus instead of actually fully driving the bus, you move from having the struggle, the force, effort. And then when she sat next to you, when you're driving the bus of life, there is a lot more flow, ease, grace, clarity, inner peace and calm. And that makes life a whole different ballgame. Thanks for joining me today, and I trust you will hit the subscribe button and check out the show notes down below for any additional information that is going on in my world. Ciao for now.